Hello guys, Termex here, and welcome to another Wonderlands video. In today's Wonderlands video, I'm going to be going over the full in-depth skill tree of the Spore Warden that actually just got revealed today. Now today, a bunch of early access creators have brought us a bunch of early access footage and early access stuff, and I do want to say thank you to them for everything, and they have provided me with some screenshots that I will show you guys in future videos. And I am very freaking excited to share this with you guys. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit to make this a little bit easier on the eyes to read. And yeah, the first thing we're going to go into is, as you can see here, this is the skill tree. Characters within Wonderlands only have a singular skill tree, and you get a second skill tree once you hit your multi-class. Now the first thing that we have is the class feat, which is basically a class passive ability. Now the Fate Maker is accompanied by a mushroom companion that targets nearby enemies and deals poison damage. Pinging an enemy will cause your mushroom companion to lunge towards them, and any increases to the Fate Maker's damage also apply to your companions. Now, as you guys know, as a Flak main and a Flak-centric content creator, this is amazing. This means that your pet will always scale with your Fate Maker's damage buffs, making your pet actually worth something when it comes to endgame. And I was actually kind of right about the poison damage. In my earlier Spore Warden video, I did talk about how the little collar around his neck probably has something to do with poison damage, and indeed it did. Now going into the action skills, as we know, we do have the Barrage, which is the Fate Maker's bow. It's an ethereal bow that fires 7 arrows at once, dealing ability damage on impact, and these arrows will ricochet twice between nearby enemies. Barrage has multiple charges, and increases to gun damage apply to the damage dealt by Barrage. That is insane. The fact that is even allowed is pretty amazing, because I am going to make a video with Stablemancer alongside Spore Warden, because Stablemancer has a plethora of gun damage benefits that actually apply to this bow. Crazy synergies are about to go down, and I think Spore Warden is being very overlooked in the damage department. We do also have Blizzard, where we create Frost Cyclones, not really anything too unique, and probably not the main draw for this class. Now the first skill that we have is called Bounty of the Hunt. It's already sounding a lot like Flak. On this kill skill, your action skill cooldown rate is increased for a brief duration, so I imagine for like 5 to 10 seconds your abilities come back a little bit quicker. Up next we have Kindred Hearts, so your companion is going to have increased damage and increased health. This is also a 5-point skill, so that is pretty awesome. We also have Eagle Eye, so gun damage is increased and gun handling is increased, just a raw ability skill that could also be spec'd into 5 times, so just overall more damage. Up next we have Affinity, which gives us ability damage increase, and this goes for 5 entire points, so this will apply to the Barrage skill, and this will also apply to the Blizzard Tornadoes. Up next we have Spore Cloud, which is actually a 1-point skill. Your mushroom companion will occasionally let one rip. He's basically gonna fart on somebody, taunting enemies and leaving a poison cloud that deals damage over time. Think Maya Cloud Kill from Borderlands 2, but in pet form. Bullseye. Gun critical hit chance is increased, and companion critical hit chance is increased. Kinda like Flak's purple skill ability, but within, well, Wonderlands. Quiver of Holding. This is a 3-point skill. Your magazine size is increased, and the Fate Maker's currently equipped weapon regenerates ammo over time. So it looks like Spore Warden is going to be getting passive ammo regeneration for anything. So I wonder if this applies to rocket launchers. Most likely not, but it is going to be a awesome skill. That big word that I can't pronounce, Mushroom. This is a 1-point skill. While the Fate Maker is in Save Your Soul, which is basically fight for your life, their mushroom companion will attempt to revive them. If it does, you and your companion gain increased damage dealt for a short duration. Lick the Wounds from Flak is back. I am so happy. I was so drawn towards Spore Warden. He is literally the embodiment of Flak in Wonderlands. I'm going to love his playstyle. I'm going to love everything about this character. And I'm so excited that I basically predicted that this will be the Flak character. And the amount of skills he has is insane. Spore Warden is probably going to be one of the better characters to choose for solo play. Up next, we do have Windrunner, which is a 3-point skill. When we get a kill, we get increased movement speed, fire rates, for the said duration, and this affects stacks. I don't know how many times it stacks, probably up to 3 times. This is going to be awesome for general run and gunning. Now we indeed have Thrill of the Hunt, which is a 3-point skill. Gun critical hits grant increased companion damage for a duration. This effect stacks up to 10 times. So if you're doing a crit build, your companion will get a bunch of damage. Honestly, this just seems like a better version of Flak, and I am all for it. Called Shot. This is another 3-point skill. While aiming down sights, the Fate Maker gains an ever-increasing amount of gun damage and gains damage reduction. So it looks like this is going to be like opening shot from 0 from Borderlands 2, but maybe a more nerfed down version. So I wonder if you like aim down sight for a whole minute if you'll get like 1000% damage. Probably not, but you know, it sounds cool. Up next, we have the Wrath of Nature, a 3-point skill. Whenever the Fate Maker deals ability damage to an enemy, the affected enemy takes increased damage from all sources for a duration. This is going to be insane because ability damage will be your blizzard or just hitting an enemy with your bow and arrow, and then you could switch to something powerful, or even your mushroom companion could melt a boss. And then finally, Headhunter, which is a 1-point skill. Gun damage dealt to critical hit areas is just increased. This is basically, oh my god, what's the name of the skill? From Borderlands 3. I can't believe I'm blanking this. Okay, so the point I was talking about is kind of like Galactic Shadow because it only has a 1-point skill and it does increase a critical hit damage by 15%. So I imagine Headhunter is going to be along the same lines as that skill. And finally, the Spore Warden's Capstone is Play the Angles, which is a 1-point skill of course. The Fate Maker's gun critical hits have a chance to ricochet, dealing reduced ability damage to nearby enemies. Ricochet shots have a small chance to ricochet in additional time. So this looks like a great AoE ad clear and making your bow's ricochet just insane. But you're going to get a Jacob's ricochet mechanic with whatever gun you use, allowing you to get ricochets with critical hits, with Meteors, Maliwans. Well, Maliwan's not in the game, but you know what I mean. All these different weapon manufacturers are going to be able to ricochet when using the Spore Warden. Now, honestly, reading through all this just makes me super excited to play with the Spore Warden. I'm excited. Probably going to be my favorite character within Wonderlands, just because it has so many similarities to Flak that I think it's going to be insane. And it has me really hyped, man. After posting for Flak and dedicating my channel to Flak, basically, I feel like Spore Warden is a great moving on thing, because it feels and looks just like Flak in terms of a lot of the skills, but more agile and more centered towards your actual pets without the need of a, well, purple tree. Now, I don't know if they're going to do different things in the future, but the Spore Warden's playstyle just really hits the nail on the head for me, and I'm really excited for this. I was not granted early access to Wonderlands, unfortunately, but I still want to provide the best Spore Warden content I can for you guys, keep you guys updated on things, and hopefully bring you some awesome Spore Warden builds in the future. So if you want to keep up with Spore Warden when Wonderlands inevitably comes out on March 25th, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that like button so more people could learn about the Spore Warden, and you guys have a terrific day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.